It's gonna be delayed even further! Wow, man, that was cringier than I thought it was gonna be. I apologize. So why are people panicking? It seems that even though the iPhone X has been announced and it's been released by Apple and we know lots about it, it's official, there's still leaks coming from the production line. Like the guys who stole information from the Chinese factories are still stealing information. And apparently, a rumor got out that there's been manufacturing problems with the iPhone X again. You guys remember in the conceptual days, this happened like every other day. It was like, it's been delayed. No, it hasn't. It's been delayed. No, it hasn't. Again, we're getting another report saying that they're at 10% production speed as what they should be. I don't know if what they should be is like full-fledged production, something we weren't hitting already, or if that's what we were hitting and 10% is like really, really low. Either way, 10% sounds bad. However, what I want to remind people, I don't want people to panic yet, is that Apple actually gave an official release date for the iPhone X.
They begin to ship on November 3rd.
Apple has delayed products before. The big one that comes to mind is AirPods. They were very high in demand and very low in stock. However, they did not say specifically when it would be available.
The new AirPods will ship in late October.
And I think that proved to the point that they were kind of unsure about production. See, with AirPods, I'm sure they're very hard to make. There's a lot of tiny, tiny parts, little batteries, little W1 chips that you have to implement into very tiny devices. So producing them at a massive scale is likely fairly difficult. And it seems that they're running into the same issue with the iPhone X's proximity sensor. Most reports are saying all of the parts, given that the iPhone has a total of something like, 5 to 6 different cameras, getting all of those built correctly is becoming very, very difficult. However, with the iPhone X, they did give it a very specific launch day of October 27th for pre-orders and November 3rd for deliveries. What I think that means is that long before the iPhone event even happened, these 10s were in production. You know, we were getting tons of leaks of them, so they at least had settled on a design element for a long while. And it's been really, really tough for Apple to try to get a manufacturing process in line that allows for these very premium iPhones to be made at a very high rate. But of course, that takes time. You know, you're kind of asking for a lot when you're a smartphone company who needs to ship out, tens of millions of iPhones that require all these tiny parts that haven't existed before. The Face ID technology is said to be 2 years ahead of the competition in terms of 3D facial recognition. And of course, lots of different companies now have to make OLED displays for the iPhone X. And say what you will about it, saying that you shouldn't buy the iPhone X because it's too expensive, or Apple sucks, or they ask too much, or it doesn't have fast charging. Say what you will about it, the iPhone is still one of the most popular smartphones out there. Yes, Android is greater in numbers. More people on this earth are using Android, but that's from hundreds of different companies developing Android phones. Apple sells tens of millions of iPhones every year, so when you're asking for a lot of design changes, it's very hard to make a manufacturing process that is efficient enough at producing millions of them. So it's asking for a lot, I get that. But I feel like the fact that Apple has officially named a date and said we can deliver iPhones on this particular date means that yes, as expected, iPhone Xs are going to be in very short supply, but no, I don't think they're going to delay the release. Keep in mind, I filmed this yesterday, if you're watching it the day it uploaded. Knowing my luck, it probably has been officially delayed now, which sucks. But your favorite leak boy, Ming Kuo, has mentioned that he doesn't think the super cycle, for those who don't know, that's the giant refresh people are expecting with this year's lineup of iPhones. The fact that lots of people are going to be upgrading, whether they're upgrading from the 6S or the 6 or the 7, or for me, even the 8, lots of people are seeing such a large design change that they're very, very excited to buy it, and therefore everyone has been saving up and waiting for this iPhone in particular, which means that more people than usual will be willing to upgrade. If you didn't catch this before, the most successful iPhone in the lineup is the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. I think the reason those were kind of a super cycle, the reason they had such high demand was because it was some of the largest changes we'd ever seen to an iPhone. We were now going from a square design to a rounded off design, and we were switching away from 4-inch displays and moving into 4.7 and 5.5, which have set the standard for the past 4 years of iPhones. They had really decent cameras, and it was kind of a very massive step for Apple. And I'm looking at the iPhone X and thinking all the same things. I can't really think of an iPhone that has changed this many things in an upgrade than the X has. Between removing the home button, removing Touch ID, removing bezels, introducing Face ID. It's kind of the first time we've got an irregular display look, like the notch in the screen. Dual cameras, both with optical image image stabilization, wireless charging, dual cameras on the front now. Now we've got a dual camera both ways. The first time iPhone switching to OLED and curved corners, and wow, I can't think of an upgrade that was more substantial. So I can understand why demand is so high, but no, personally, I am not thinking that Apple is going to push the delivery day even further. I think they're already running up against the Google Pixel and the Note 8. They need to at least say that these iPhones are for sale. They need these iPhone 10s to go out to the public so that the fans of Apple, the Apple sheep, or the people who are just curious to switch to iPhone now that they're making such monumentous strides, can buy them, use them, and tell everyone else why they're so great. And while sadly that will be a very low number, there's not going to be a lot of people that are capable of getting the iPhone 10 on launch day. While that number is small, it's just enough for people to get excited about it, people to find out what this new iPhone is, you know, people who don't usually follow tech, and have them get in line and start waiting, you know, the 3 months for the iPhone 10 to be delivered. I don't think it would be smart of Apple, and I don't think it would be wise when you have so much competition in the field right now to delay your iPhone lineup even further than it already is. It is kind of upsetting for a lot of people already that when you announce the iPhone 10 and you show off all its cool features, you tell everyone, and it's not ready for 2 months. And then to push that back even further, I mean, a lot of people would just give up at that point. If people see that the iPhone 10's not coming in until December or even January, it's gonna be like, well, the holidays are over, we're not buying as much. I might as well get an iPhone 8 because I can walk into a store and get one. Or I'm gonna switch to something else, like the S8 or the Note 8, or heaven forbid, the Pixel 2. No. But that's my theory, is that while production's probably running into a lot of problems, they're going to have them ironed out next year. Most people who are going to own the iPhone 10 will be owning it in 2018. Definitely not going to see massive, massive sales for the iPhone 10 this year because it's going to be so hard to get your hands on one. I think a lot of people are going to quit trying to even buy it this year because delivery times may be 6 to 8 weeks, perhaps further. Perhaps the iPhone 10, similar to a lot of exclusive Apple accessories like Apple Watches, will simply say unavailable. People will buy it fast, and then literally on the store it will say, sorry, sold out, and then get notified when the next shipment is available. That's what I could see happening, which basically means be really ready. If you want the iPhone 10, you're gonna need to be up at midnight refreshing that Apple Store page as fast as the flash, you know, as fast as humanly possible, and then it's still a maybe. You can't guarantee it still. So I wish you luck to people who want the iPhone 10, who want to afford it. I'll definitely be up at midnight as well, but yeah, it's gonna be tough, guys. Let me know all your thoughts about the iPhone 10 being delayed. Do you think it is gonna happen? Do you think it's gonna be close? All of that, let me know in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.